A lot of people are speculating if there's going to be an invasion of Iran soon. And I do think so. Possibly. I don't know. Because, like anybody, I don't know everything. But I'm going to tell you something. I read a long time. I heard all these stories, even a couple of years ago, and I can't remember who it was, but it was an Israeli general, I think it was, saying there was definitely going to be an invasion in Iran within a few months. Now it's supposed to be like 2 years ago in April. Uh, didn't happen. But I think what happens is, I know there's like they call them neocons and the Israeli American citizens, but I'm gonna tell you there's other factors that are gonna do this. I think um, number one is Iran's been trying to establish an oil bourse, an oil market since like 2007. It was supposed to start up, but what happened recently is they're trying to do a direct trade system, like a barter system with China. But right now, China is paying for Iranian crude oil in euros. So what happened with Iraq? Remember? I don't want to laugh about it, but you know what I mean. Saddam Hussein or whoever he was, in there is double, whatever he was trading euros with, was using trade with oil with euros, and that's why he was ousted. It's a threat to the dollar as being a reserve currency. And Western interests in general don't like this, whether they want to crash the dollar or not. Um, they don't like this, obviously. So I think this has become a big problem for them, and I think it's a very dangerous situation, though, obviously. So because it's right next to China. Another thing is Iran and South Korea signed a contract to build an oil pipeline. So how's that going to be going? Is oil going to be a barter arrangement between South Korea? Again, the Western dollar is no longer going to be used as a reserve currency. It's a direct threat to the dollar. And despite, some deliberate plans to maybe oust the dollar at one point in time, I think these are things that are not actually in the overall scheme of things to go to a world currency. And I know there's rumors about this S&P dropping in October. And we look, and I think it is going to drop at one point in time, but where this might fit in is looking at oil. If oil does a spike like this, and it might do it really, really fast. If there's a war with Iran, oil is going to do a super spike a lot faster than this. And if you look what happened here, this is '07, '08, in middle of '08, oil was a spike. Look what happened on the S&P 500. Middle of '07, it was near the top. Middle of '08, when oil was spiked up, it was dropping, and that caused everything to crash. And there is some truth to this peak oil theory. It's not. I think it's exaggerated. I think there's a lot more oil out there, but I think there is some truth to it. The cost of getting the oil is going up and up and up, and using this as an energy source, that's what makes manufacturing, commerce, transportation, all this type of stuff. If the price goes up when there are more activities going on, it slows down the activity. Unless they find an alternative to oil, which there may be. There may be stuff out there. But just looking at this, that's where I could see the S&P crashing too. Not so much because of problems with the euro, but if they have this conflict with Iran, and you look where it is, obviously 30% of the world's oil travels right through this strait. They're going to close this off, and then the prices are going to skyrocket. I mean, it's not going to be like 2% of the oil. It's going to be, a good chunk of the major supply of the oil, and there's still going to be oil going to China. It's going to be what's going to be cut off is the West, and basically Europe. I'm talking about, but it's going to cause a worldwide shortage. So, one thing I was kind of looking at, and sometimes it's not the best indication. But this is a fund that's kind of new. It's double bull oil, double bear, it's S&P. And it's actually been going down during the year. But looking at this volume right here, I don't know, sometimes when I see stuff like this, There's people moving in and making their bets. And, if there's going to be an invasion of Iran, and I don't think it's over this. I know the Israelis, and this, let me put it this way, I don't all the Israelis wanted war. I doubt that. But there's certain Israelis that don't want a war. Definitely, right? And they're being held back. But I don't, it's going to be blamed on them. But I'm looking at some other financial angle, and I'm thinking here, some money moved in here. Double bull oil, double bear short. I mean, this isn't mean it's guaranteed, but this gives me a little suspicion. And looking at what happened with oil, just the way it can kill the markets in our commerce and activity, by just going up so high, that could bring the S&P down. And I know, it sounds crazy, but the number one thing in times of serious crisis, when there's a lot of wars going on, it's this stuff, oil. Oil is one of the top commodities, probably more than gold or silver. I'm a little suspicious of looking at this, and I see other reasons why they'd be going into Iran. I know you're going to say it's the Israelis, the neocons. I see other money reasons. Iran's using the euro. China's paying them for euros for the oil. They're doing a direct barter agreement with them. They're building a pipeline to South Korea. The whole thing that holds up the West, and that thing what Lindsey Williams said about the oil interest in the West, they want to establish a petrodollar. This is a threat to that too. In other words, they want to control all the oil supply. So whatever currency comes out in the future, they're going to back it with oil. But this is outside their loop. All this stuff, China and South Korea, and Iran is implementing all this. And China is not a small customer. 10 million barrels a day. They're half the use of the United States, and they're coming on stronger and stronger. So, and you also got to figure India is also a major customer of theirs too. I think India didn't pay them as well though, but still, they're still a customer. Same thing. India has paid off some of the debt in euros to Iran through Turkey's half a bank, whatever the hell you can call that. But again, that's the same reason that Iraq was invaded. Same reason Libya was invaded. So, I mean, I know you can blame it on the Israelis, but I think there's something else going on here.